Krishna. We continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 6. We're reading from Dhyan Yoga, text 38. Kachin nobhaya vibrashtas chinnabram eva nashyati apratishto mahabaho vimudo brahmana pati. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere? So because Arjuna is asking, yesterday we heard, Arjuna is asking Krishna, what happens to someone who takes to the path of spirituality, who starts on this path of transcendental realization, but for some reason he's not able to complete it. What happens to him? Does it mean that he's nowhere, neither spiritually nor materially, because he gave up his material life, so he's not progressed materially, and now he's not even perfected spiritually, so he's like a riven cloud, like when a cloud breaks away from a big cloud, is a tiny cloud, and he's then just being pushed away by the wind here and there, no position anywhere. Does it become like that? Arjuna is asking Krishna. There are two ways to progress. Those who are materialists have no interest in transcendence. Therefore, they are more interested in material advancement by economic development or in promotion to the higher planets by appropriate work. So material development, material life, some of us think it's only here on this earth till the time we are in this life. So let me try to improve my position as much as I can in this life. Whereas some of us understand, there's also afterlife. So let me try to improve my life, not only this life, but my next life also. So I can go to a higher planet and enjoy in a higher heavenly kingdom, so there is more enjoyment. Both of them are on the material platform. When one takes to the path of transcendence, one has to cease all material activities and sacrifice all forms of so-called material happiness. If the aspiring transcendentalist fails, then he apparently loses both ways. In other words, he can enjoy neither material success nor spiritual happiness. He has no position. He is like a riven cloud. A cloud in the sky sometimes deviates from a small cloud and joins a big one. But if it cannot join a big one, then it is blown away by the wind and becomes a non-entity in the vast sky. The Brahmanapati is the path of transcendental realization through knowing oneself to be spiritual in essence, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, who is manifested as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So what is the transcendental path? Transcendental path is to understand who am I, who is God, and what is my relationship with Him. In the transcendental path, one can understand the absolute truth in this feature as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Lord Shri Krishna is the fullest manifestation of the supreme absolute truth, and therefore one who is surrendered to the supreme person is a successful transcendentalist. To reach this goal of life through Brahman and Paramatma realization takes many, many births. Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Therefore, the supermost path of transcendental realization is Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness, the direct method. So the transcendentalist can take the path of knowledge, and thereby he can come to the realization that the absolute truth is Brahman. Or he can take the path of mysticism and realize that the absolute truth is Paramatma. Or he can take the direct path of devotional service and realize the absolute truth is a person, Lord Shri Krishna. And the path of devotional service is the shortest path, and the transcendentalist can finish his journey in one life. He does not need many, many lives. But if the transcendentalist takes the path of knowledge or of mysticism, then it's a long journey. Bahunam Janmanamante, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyanti, that after many, many births and deaths, one who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. But the devotee, what he does is he immediately surrenders to Krishna and he begins his devotional service. He begins a devotional service. So, let's see what is the, how. So Arjuna is continuing further. Etan me samshayam Krishna chetum arhasi ashesh shataha tvad anya samshayas yash samshayas yasya chetana hi upapadyate. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Krishna is the perfect knower of past, present, and future. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said that all living entities existed individually in the past, they exist now in the present, and they continue to remain individual identity in the future, even after liberation from the material entanglement. So Krishna, when he begins the chapter 4, when he begins to give transcendental knowledge to Arjuna, he says that Arjuna, all the kings that are present here, and you and me, we have always existed in the past. It's not that in the past we were not existing or that we were not individuals. In the past also we were individuals. Right now also we are individuals. And in the future, we will continue to remain individuals. So even after liberation, we continue to exist. It's not that we are going to die. The soul never dies. The soul is individual, always exists, even after liberation. So he has already cleared up the question of the future of the individual living entity. So we might say, oh, I'm so frustrated right now, I just want to give up everything. I want to give up the material world and then I will cease to exist. No, it's not that after we give up the material world, we don't exist anymore. No, we exist. We exist. The soul is eternal. Soul never dies. That's why Krishna says that. And so we need to understand what is the activity of the soul. That after the soul gives up the material world, after the soul is liberated, what are the activities the soul has to do so that we can perform those activities? That is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma. That is, and what's the Sanatan Dharma of the soul? Is to serve God, to engage in transcendental, loving, devotional service to God. Bhakti. That is our eternal activity. So he has already cleared up the question. Okay. Now Arjuna wants to know the future of the unsuccessful transcendentalists. No one is equal to or above Krishna. And certainly the so-called great sages and philosophers who are at the mercy of material nature cannot equal him. So we may think that maybe there's someone who is more knowledgeable than Krishna. Maybe there's someone who has maybe equal knowledge as Krishna. But no, there is no one who is equal to Krishna. There is no one who is greater than Krishna. Krishna is God. He's the origin of everything. So there are no two gods. There are no two gods. There's only one God. He has many names. That's all right. But God is one. So no one can equal to Krishna's knowledge. Therefore, the verdict of Krishna is the final and complete answer to all doubts, because he knows past, present, and future perfectly. But no one knows him. Krishna and Krishna conscious devotees alone can know what is what. So if we at all want to understand Krishna, Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. He says that in Bhagavad Gita, that only by devotional service can you understand me. We cannot understand Krishna without engaging in devotional service, without hearing about Krishna from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. How will we understand him? We won't. So we need to hear about Krishna. from the reliable sources, from the correct sources. And the more we hear about Krishna, the more we will understand Krishna. Yes. Is that all right?
Yes.
So we'll stop here for today then. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.